So what I did today when we had the stack ring in the show, it's all the Heritage Collection textures from Jay. I took one of my favorite gold band rings I treated myself to years ago. It's just a twisted gold band ring. But look how it changes its whole personality by now stacking with another texture. Isn't that cool? It's refreshing a ring I have had for years and making it fresh again. That's what these band rings can do for you in your jewelry wardrobe. You get to have fun. $89.98. So again, a very affordable item that we have in the show for you today. It should be over $100. The first one that we have is the hammered. And then you're also seeing in the hammered, you get that basket weave texture as well. So that you're gonna order hammered. The floral, oh my goodness gracious. Oh, let me just have a moment. Because look at the depth. Do you see how it's almost like bursting off the mold, right? Like it's so good. That's the floral. And then I also have that Kalahari texture. This one always speaks to me. I spent a lot of time in Africa throughout college. I was in Kenya, Uganda, Benin, spent time in Egypt. This Kalahari print I think is absolutely beautiful. $89.98 to get it home. Now we have one more, it's the crane. And that's a really special symbol, and Angela will walk through each of the textures. But that one, and just the interlocking pattern of the crane is beautiful. Ooh, I only have sizes 5 to 7 if you want that crane. So be sure, I don't know, do cranes fly? I think they do. You don't want that one to fly away, to get away, see? I was like, ooh, wait, I feel silly if I'm like, do they fly? Yes. Okay, Angela, walk us through each of these heritage textures, because I love how we're getting this home for under $90, because each one has so much depth to it. Let's start with, the first one is the hammered.
Yes, so our hammer texture. So this is a really truly classic texture, and the hammer texture is really meant to, be that perfect reflection on that moonlight, or on the ocean with that moonlight. It gives you a beautiful, subtle reflection, and it's just enough, it's a step above, a nice high polish. And then what we did is we trimmed it and outlined either side with our
Oh,
beautiful
look at
basket
that.
weave texture that a lot of you,
Do you
like to
see?
call either, our exploded heart or a nice chevron pattern, but
Yeah,
that
look
is,
at that.
a really, really beautiful classic design.
It almost looks like a French bread, right? It's dimensional. It isn't just this little trim. Yes. Oh my gosh, Stretch, great shot. Thank you. Do you see that?
Yeah.
And when you have this home, this isn't just this tiny little thin band ring. No. I mean, $89.98, under $90 for a ring like this. This is one that you're grabbing. Okay, then we have the floral.
The floral, which is, definitely one of my favorite textures just because of
Yeah.
how feminine and beautiful it is. But I love how you explain, like running your fingers across it, you can just feel all of that
Mm-hmm.
beautiful texture. You can see the brush strokes that create the petals and those beautiful vines. And it almost is a little bit more rounded than the others. I think the others are a little bit more square, but
Yeah.
I love that because it really just truly tells that full story of,
Mm-hmm.
femininity. And our floral texture, really doesn't have, like a certain, it doesn't pinpoint, a certain destination, but there's flowers everywhere that you travel.
Mm-hmm.
Or, when you want to give gifts, a lot of people give flowers, a lot of people garden. So there's a lot of special meaning
Yeah,
with our flower texture.
this one is also very, very popular. And it doesn't, listen, it never has to be a special occasion. We'll go to the Kalahari in just a second. This could be a ring you wear to dress up in. It could be your everyday ring, like hair up in a ponytail, jeans and a t-shirt on, and you still have something that is so elegant. Okay, the Kalahari I think is so cool. That's the one that I stacked with my twisted gold band ring.
Looks so, so beautiful. And I stacked it with one of my gold rings
Oh,
too. So
fun.
we were thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
But the Kalahari, I think is a little bit more modern with those beautiful beadwork, but it's from our trip to Africa and really was symbolizing the Kalahari Bushmen and their beautiful beads that they would wear. And that whole trip really symbolized community, them working off the land together,
Mm-hmm.
creating, a beautiful family. And so I love the story behind the Kalahari. And if you love, the beadwork and all of those beautiful details, then this is, a great one for you. There's great great
Yeah.
points of oxidation as well in
Oh,
there.
it's so cool. Angela, I had the opportunity when I was in college to serve in Benin, West Africa. And we worked with a women's home there where they lived, a dormitory, and a lot of it was women that either had been widowed, right, or their parents had passed away, and so they were learning a trade to make a living. Because in that culture, if you're not married or have someone to support you, a lot of times you're kind of out of luck. So this is where they would learn English, they would learn how to do math to run their own business, right? It was incredible. And the most amazing thing, none of us spoke the same language, besides maybe a few words. You know, like none of us spoke the same language, yet there was this immediate bond, this
Yeah,
immediate
connection.
friendship, right? And that's what's so amazing when you think about the world that we live in, right? And yes, there's so many things that are different, but there's also a lot of things that are the same in our humanity. And what a beautiful way to represent that in a ring, in jewelry, in texture from Jay. This is one of the more affordable items that we have in the show. Don't forget the crane is available, but I didn't want to tease you too much because it's pretty limited. So hammered, floral, and then we also have the Kalahari texture for you as well. $89.98 is your sale price, only for a limited time. Okay, if you just joined us, it's a full